So this week, I got a mysterious package in the mail from Poland. Actually, this package is not that mysterious. What it is a package assembled by a little shop called Racemode in Poland, and they specialize in BMWs, I believe BMW E46, that sort of generation. Now, I'm very excited about this particular box because it will kind of set the development for the BMW Roadster for the foreseeable future. What this actually is a kit to convert the car from an Simon's MS42 ECU/DME engine computer to a Simon's MS43 engine computer. Now, there is a big list of reasons why you might want to switch from an MS42 system to an MS43 system, one of which being that there's a bigger tuning community for the MS43. Basically changing the computer from one that controls the M52 TU engine, technical update engine, to the M54 engine. But it also means you can run a M54 throttle body. Let me show you why you might want to do that. Right, so this is a throttle body from an M52 TU engine, and it's a bit of a handful. As you can see, it's very bulky. Got a cable actuation right here, but on this end you also have an electronic actuation, and that's for your cruise control and also your DSC system, the dynamic stability control. BMW had this as kind of a transition period from the M52 with its fully cable-controlled throttle bodies, and later the M54 throttle bodies, which were completely electronic. And one of the big issues with having a system that's just sort of a transitory system between fully cable controlled and fully electronic controlled is these were only around for a couple of years. And they're very complex, and both of those things together mean that they're quite expensive to replace. Pro tip, if you're ever in a pick and pull lot, look out for the BMWs with the M52 TU engines, because the throttle bodies here, they are easy to pull apart, and generally the pick and pull will undervalue these, so you can make quite a big profit. And I really recommend you to do that because who knows how many of these are still out there. And because of the complexity, as you could probably guess, these do have a tendency to fail. And when they do fail, there's not really a good thing you can do about that repair-wise except to replace the whole thing, and that kind of sucks. And moving to the M54 throttle body, much more compact. Look at this guy. This guy is much smaller, weighs less, so you're losing some weight and losing some complexity and probably increasing your reliability a fair bit. But also, these are ubiquitous. These were around for quite some time. Not exactly how long they were around, but you can pick these up for about a third of the cost of the M52 TU throttle bodies, making it a really attractive proposition to switch your car over from an MS42 to an MS43 system. Anyway, those are the throttle bodies. That's a big reason why you'd want to do this. But you also open up the opportunity to switch to an M54 B30 intake system, not just the throttle body, but the whole system. So you get a bigger mass airflow sensor, a bigger MAF. I've measured these two throttle bodies, and the M54 B30 throttle body is larger, so you can use that. And also the intake runners on the intake are wider, so it's kind of a big win if you're also looking for just, a little bit of performance gain. That's one reason why it's so fun to work on BMWs, is because you can mix and match these parts and get them from pick and pull lots and go on the cheap and get a little power bump. Let me go ahead and open up this package from Poland from Racemode, and as I start to open it up, I'll explain why I went with this particular kit. So let's go ahead and see what's in here. Got my handy dandy knifey blade. All right. It's packaged in a nice little Borg Warner box. That's fun. Of course, this is a tiny shop in Poland. But they have their own YouTube channel that you might want to check out. And that's how I learned about this kit that they put together, this MS42 to MS43 kit. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Opening the box. Go ahead and take that away. And see what we have here. Alright, okay. Looks like we have a baggie full of all of the cable bits and adapters. Let me go ahead and take you through this guy right here. Oh, there's two. There's actually two bits. We have a barrel connector here and part of an ECU or DME harness right here. Now this barrel connector right here, this is an enormous reason for going with the Racemode kit. This pretty much sold me on the whole thing. When you're dealing with DME stuff, ECU stuff, very easily you can find yourself working in a rat's nest. And the last thing I want to do is hack up my nice, beautiful, pristine OEM wiring harness and wiring in the car, hack it up to whatever means, and have it looking really crappy, and not being able to really undo all that. And this should help me keep things pristine, this barrel connector. I'll show you what this is for. This is actually an adapter. So I take the M52 TU throttle body, and you can see I already have a connector on there from the wiring harness of the car, of the donor car where this came from. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees and just disconnect it like this. And you can see we have the, what is that, 5, that's a 10-pin connector. I'm going to take this adapter, like this, it's engaged, then I lock it into place, boom, and that clicked. So now I have on the end a nice connector, essentially a factory connector for the new throttle body from the M54 B30, which I have here. And I'm just gonna hook that in. Look at that. Just a nice little adapter, so I don't have to like hack up my current wiring harness to the throttle body. So that is really great. That alone is a reason to go with this kit as opposed to other options. Alright then, we have the adapter, and this is another part of the equation. So I'll need to double check, but I'm pretty sure this is what we use to connect the new electronic throttle pedal, the electronic throttle pedal, to the new DME. From what I understand, the electronic throttle from this vintage, the E46 M54 vintage, has kind of a negative reputation. It's seen as not very responsive when you press on the pedal. That actually all comes down to programming, and you can do a couple things programming-wise to your DME to actually affect a quicker throttle response. So I'm not actually too worried about that. And this cable is what we're going to use to connect to the electronic throttle pedal, and we're going to wire that up to the DME, and it looks like, check this out, they've already gone ahead and just labeled everything. They've labeled each individual wire in here with a number to keep them straight. And they've also went ahead and pinned the end so that those will just slip into the connector that currently goes into the DME. So I like this solution a lot. This is going to save a lot of time and frustration. But that's not all we got. We also have so that's nice of them. We got some little shrinky wrap tubes, right? Little shrink wraps. Appreciated, not needed for me particularly, but appreciated. And it also looks like, I don't know what we're going to use these for. Can't tell really what that is about. It might come in handy, so I mean it came in the baggie. Looks like a piece of a bobby pin or something. I'm pretty sure that's to help depin the connector that's currently in there, because we do have to shuffle some wires around. On the MS43 system, some pins are actually in different spots, and you do have to depin and repin and move a few pins around to actually get the desired effect. But they've also included a little handy tool to kind of help with that depinning process, so I appreciate that. I'm happy with this kit so far. I also requested, and you don't have to order this with your kit, but I thought it would just be a good idea to have, and go ahead and get a replacement MS43 DME, as seen here. Replacement MS43 DME with the programming already put in it for my current car's VIN number. It also has the EWS disabled on this. All MS43 DMEs from the factory had an EWS system, and basically there was a module that matches the codes for the programming on the MS43, and you both need, the programmed MS43 module and the EWS security module together to get the car to turn on and run. And to disable that, you actually have to take the casing off of your DME and ground a pin and start it up that way on a bench setup if you have one, to go ahead and remove that programming. But they did that for me already, which I think is great. For convenience sake, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and just have this done and have an extra DME. I actually have, from the pick and pull lot, 2 other DMEs that are more or less sacrificial. I'm developing a bench setup so I can handle the EWS and some of the programming on a bench and not in the car. And I thought it would be good to have a few spares around just in case I screw something up. But this will be the one that we're going to end up putting inside of the Roadster. So, there you have it. The cost of the kit was around €200, a little bit more than €200 for everything that came in the baggie, including the pre-programmed DME. And I'm very happy with it. I'll probably have some questions for them as I go ahead and install this and replace it. I don't have an ETA yet as to when I'm actually going to do this MS42 to MS43 conversion. There's a few other things that I want to fix on the car first. There's a few adjustments I want to make to the soft top, for example, and that's a higher priority than this. Well, the sun's starting to go down, and that's my cue to stop babbling. So I want to thank you for joining me here, and I want to wish you luck on your own hacking projects and tuning projects, and we'll see you down the road.